Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm just sitting here currently preloading my installation of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm super hyped for the game, and I realize I have not put anything up on the channel about it. But I like to talk about it a little bit before the game actually comes out, just for just a few short days before it comes out, and also talk about what I'm going to be doing for it. So, as I said, I'm very hyped for this game. And I'm so hyped, in fact, that this is the first game in a very, very, very long time that I'm actually taking off days from work to play. I'm taking off this 10th and the 11th, the release day and the Friday afterwards to just to play this game as much as possible. And I figured if I would be playing this game all the time, now that I'm kind of streaming consistently, I'm going to be streaming it as well as I play it. So this is your kind of like forward warning, and hopefully to help attract interest from you guys. Hello, DarkChiron here, and the streams will be starting at noon as usual, and just kind of go with it and see how long I want to stream it, which will probably be a good portion of the day. I've set aside time for it. I've told everyone, hey guys, I got important I have something important I have to do. Please, I gotta do this. So hopefully everything will go well and everything will be fun. The reviews are coming out for it. Everyone's saying it's really amazing. There's technical issues, but there's apparently also a day one patch. So hopefully a lot of those technical issues can be cleaned up a little bit. So that won't mar the experience. But everything I've heard about the story and everything in general has been just glowing and really amazing. And that's really what I'm kind of into it for. I know a lot of people say like the melee combat for it is kind of not as impactful as people would like, and there's a couple of gameplay issues that happen. But that's not really what I'm in it for. I'm in it for the story and the setting, basically, because the cyberpunk aesthetic is something I really love. These kind of far-flung, futuristic, dystopian landscapes to help distract us from the current dystopian landscape that we currently reside in. But that's beside the point. Won't get into that there. But there's a lot of cyberpunky type media stuff I really, really enjoy, like Blade Runner, iRobot, Ghost in the Shell, Alita Battle Angel, if you want to count that. And another thing that Keanu Reeves starred in, Johnny Mnemonic, which is also oddly another odd thing that he stars in, where the first name of the character he's playing is Johnny. He has a habit of doing that, I've noticed. It's very interesting. His character's names are usually, the first name is John or Johnny or something of that nature. It's a weird little coincidence. I'm not sure how it quite works. But anywho, that's beside the point. Like I said, the setting and the story is more what I'm interested in. This idea of having what it means to be human tested, having the boundaries pushed, really kind of trying to address what humanity is, and how far it extends. How far we can push the boundaries of it. And obviously, again, like this is really going to be addressing that kind of things. I am very much into this idea of transhumanism, which is this idea that, if I can paraphrase it and kind of put it in the word terms that I'm thinking of, this idea that our body is just really a shell that hosts us, and it should be allowed, if you have the ability and the capability and the means to it by which to upgrade it by various means, why not do it? That's kind of my philosophy. The whole thing of putting your brain in the robot body. Yes, please sign me up. I would like to do that, but that's not capable with current technology, obviously. But I could go for some artificial limbs and stuff like that. Maybe, maybe that would be more within the scope of my lifetime. But like I said, things like that kind of push the boundaries of like what is human and what does that mean. And I guess to expand it further and to kind of get to where I would be more of is what counts as something that we should extend our basic human rights to, for lack of a better term. Because I don't want to exclude aliens in this, right? If we meet alien civilizations that are also sentient, I would like to hope that we would extend the same courtesies that we extend to ourselves to them as well, as far as rights and what they are allowed to do and not do and things like that. Of course, we probably wouldn't, but I would like to hope that we would. That's the hopeful dreamer in me, I suppose. So I think something that kind of exemplifies that is in an episode of Star Trek Next Generation, they have the court case for Data, where they're trying to figure out, does he get the same courtesies that we extend to other people, or humanoid life forms. I like that idea, and they're going to seem to address that at least a little bit, probably, in the game. I don't have verification on that, but they'll probably address that a little bit because of the idea of Johnny Silverhand, who is played by Keanu Reeves, is a character in the game, technically speaking, but the way that he is a character in the game is, and I guess a memory imprint AI of him is installed in your character's brain, so they are basically hallucinating him all the time. And he's capable of taking over your body and controlling your body and stuff. And there's all these shenanigans and hijinks that happen because of that situation. But it's this idea that is the AI kind of, I guess, brain imprint of Johnny Silverhand on this chip. Is that him? Does he still count as a person in that situation? Is he a human? Should we consider him to be a human consciousness, or is he just a piece of computer software? And what is the difference between those two things? If you can digitize your brain completely down to the point where it's indistinguishable from the actual brain, then what's the difference? And at that point, I like delving into those types of situations. And from a less philosophical standpoint, and where the dystopian portion of this whole thing comes in, is the idea of what happens to our sense of humanity and our sense of self if our body becomes nothing more than an accessory. If we start to view ourselves that way, our bodily container. I know I just said the body is nothing more than something that houses the brain, and we should be allowed to make modifications of it, but there is a dark side to that kind of thinking of what happens if you start to view not only your body but the bodies of other people as nothing but these accessories. They're nothing more than objects to be used and manipulated. And if you start to lose sight of the idea that while that is, I guess, technically true, you're just a meat bag being piloted by a human consciousness. The human consciousness is still in there, and it's very much dependent upon that human body. So there are still things that you have to you have to not treat other people as insignificant or not meaningless, or yourself for that matter. Yeah, you can replace your eyes with far better ones that are mechanical, that can do way better things than the normal human eye can do. But like there's like lines I guess you don't want to cross. Lines you don't want to cross. There's like degrees of self-mutilation through artificial enhancement that you perhaps don't want to get. You don't want to cross. You don't want to get into. You still want to view yourself as a person who is equivalent to other people who maybe don't have upgrades like you do. You and they are still both people. Just because you have the better arm upgrades does not mean that you are more human or a higher life form than the guys who don't have those upgrades, which is another thing that can happen. And from what I've hearing from reviews and about the story and stuff like that, these kinds of topics are going to be delved into. So I hope we can talk about them and we can discuss them throughout the stream. as they come up. I would be very interested in that. I'm interested in conversations about these kinds of topics. And obviously, if I wasn't interested in conversation about these things, I wouldn't post a video like this. To have further discussion and maybe give you guys a little bit of things. One of my favorite, I guess, musicals ever. It seems weird to say it's a musical because of what it is, but it's a rock opera. It's called Repo the Genetic Opera, and it's got a lot of hard rock and industrial music in it as its soundtrack. So it's not a classical opera, so to speak, but it addresses this idea of they have this horrible future where there's a virus that goes around that causes massive organ failure. So in an attempt to combat that, there are vast industries that come about that are very good at quickly and cheaply generating new human organs. So those industries expand from the necessity to the cosmetic. So you get designer hearts. You constantly reshape your face. You can buy new and better eyes that do crazy things. And kind of the dehumanization happens because people are treated as accessories. And of course, the idea of it's called repo. So obviously, what happens to your organs if you can't pay the bill? They get repossessed. So it's kind of a whole dehumanizing thing that's based around this idea of augmentation and improving yourself. So anyway, as I said, I would welcome discussion about it and your thoughts about both the game and, of course, these kinds of topics that are going to come about because of the game. So, because I'm on YouTube, I have to ask, thumbs up video, comment if you have comments, subscribe to my channel. We're going to be getting deep into Cyberpunk and hopefully talking about some of the topics that Cyberpunk brings up, which I talked to at a lesser degree when I did Nier Automata as well, but that's a whole other thing. So, again, release day, the 10th, 11th, probably the weekend after that, I'm going to be streaming this game hardcore. So, I hope to see all of you there. I hope you all enjoy yourself when you can't show up, and if you can't show up, that's fine. It's okay. Like I said, I stream here on YouTube, so the replays will all be here on YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. It's fine. I just appreciate anyone who watches and enjoys my stuff. It's very uplifting, and I appreciate all of you guys. I really do. So, thank you. And if you made this far, thank you for watching all of this. I appreciate your time. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the stream. So, bye-bye. Have a good day.